All right, so it looks like I am streaming. All right, so, and then I'm gonna go ahead and record as well. All right, so I've decided to do this mastermind once a week on a weekly basis. Just wanted to, number one, I know there are a lot of people that want to build go high level with their account, and some of the people are on the fence. I was on the fence actually myself. I was on the lower plan. Actually, I was on somebody else's go high level account, and then I got my own, and then as I was servicing my customers or my clients, there were limitations that I had when it comes to trying to help my clients, because if they're on somebody else's go high level white label platform, then they have to rely on their support. I could go in, but I'm limited in what I can do, right? So that's where I decided to jump with the middle tier. And then no, actually I was kind of on the fence between going to the middle or going to the highest plan, which is the 497 plan. And so, but I decided to go all in. This was June of 2023. And the reason I thought about it is because, the time that you spend trying to figure out, the rebilling with regards to the um, the uh, the phone, text message, and email. I just thought it would be just less headache to go all in with the full SaaS and the automation or whatever we call it, but the highest plan. So I took the bite, I took the bullet, and so now as a result, I do have 5 customers that I service. And to answer some of the questions that people have asked me, how did I get my clients? Oh, how did I get my customers? I got it through my current clients, and as well as some additional from business network. I just reached out to them one-on-one. I didn't do any promotion or anything like that. And so that's how I got them. And then so I basically I saw Andy Audate's webinar, and I'm familiar with webinars. I've done a lot of webinars before, but I like his simplicity, and his snapshot was very simple. And so what we want to do today is basically I'm going to share my screen and go over and set up the webinar snapshot that GoHighLevel gave us. And so I'm going to do that right now, and let's do it. So I'm going to share my screen, and let's go. And what you may have to do, whoever is here with me, just making sure that I'm sharing the right screen. Let me see now. When you're on the highest plan, right? Or for that matter, when you're
We've got a blank screen at the moment, Paul.
Okay. Just give me 1 second. Let me pull that over. Apologize. So I'm going to pull it over. All right. So, oops. So app
got it.
Pro 360. So my platform is called Pro 360. And so what I did was I have in my Pro 360, I have a so the way that I set up, let me see, hold on a second. There are people that are trying to come in, so I'm probably gonna have to have maybe one of my staff members join me while I'm doing this. So the way that I set up my platform let me go show you. I have 3 different sub-accounts. One sub-account is for my marketing agency. I have another sub-account for the uh, Pro 360, which is the SaaS, and then I have another one for support. And the reason I created a separate one for support, just thinking ahead, is because I wanted to once I start getting a lot of people, I thought it would be a little bit difficult to handle all the communication and conversation that's going on with the sales, and I wanted to separate the support. So that's what I did. So what you're looking at is this is my marketing side of the business. A lot of the stuff has not been set up. Understand that it's not set up. So on the back end of my let's see here now on the agency side, so I have these are the snapshots. Let me see, I'm going to pull it over. So this is, as you can see, the app GoHighLevel, and these are the agency snapshots that comes with GoHighLevel. And then these are the ones that are imported, and the one that I got from the webinar from GoHighLevel is this GHL basic webinar. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to import that specific snapshot into my K-Madison, my agency. And the reason I'm not putting it into my my SaaS account is because my SaaS account is only for people that are leads. And so when I mean leads, those that have actually signed up to the webinar. Wait, actually, should I? No, actually, those people that actually sign up, I want to track them there, or at least showed interest. All right. Again, so now I'm just thinking through this, because if I am, yeah, the way, excuse me. So the way I set up my my SaaS, because it's called missed call text back, right? The text message that I'm going to be using is mainly utilized for the demo and stuff like that. So I don't want to interfere with that, and that's why I want to keep it separate. Okay, I hope that makes sense. All right, so if you will take over in the Q&A later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to import. So I'm going to go to my sub account, and for my marketing side of the business, which is right here, and I'm going to go into my account here, and then I'm going to load a snapshot, and I'm going to load the snapshot, the basic webinar here. And I'm going, this is the snapshot that was given by Paulson and also Andy. And so I'm going to import that into my my sub account. And so these are all the fields and all of the customization that's done for the snapshot. And so I'm going to proceed. So you should have gotten that snapshot if you called into GoHighLevel's support, and they gave you a link, and then it would have been imported into your own agency account. So I'm going to import that into into my sub account for my marketing side, and then I'm going to proceed. And then now, sometimes it takes a couple of minutes, I think. Okay, and then let me go back to my agency here. Okay, and then I'm gonna go to my sites. And then, as you can see, this is the funnel that that came in. So right here, this is it. So I'm just gonna rename it just to keep things. I'm just gonna call it webinar funnel. Webinar. Oops. I don't know why my webinar. Oh my goodness. Why isn't my keys working? Oh, actually, this is where I understand that a lot of this, my designer, I have a designer and somebody that does this. I'm doing it for the purposes of helping you guys, but also to understand it. I also need to understand the funnel, what's going on in order to give directions to my staff, right? So I'm going to go into settings and I'm just going to rename this to GHL webinar funnel. And then I'm just going to take a look at everything here. I'm just gonna make it. No, there's no payment that needs to be made on this. I'm just gonna leave it as is. And then I'm just gonna go in here and edit this really quickly. Okay, so and let's see here. So now there is a thank you page. So this percentage mainly is utilized and I don't think I need it because I don't want to create a thank you page. I just want them to probably just have a for the sake of getting this done as soon as possible. I don't think I'm gonna send them to a thank you page. So I'm just gonna delete this because I like simplicity. Okay. All of these are what's called custom values. As you can see here, custom values, and then all this is custom value here as well, right? Whether I'm going to use that or not, everybody's different because I imported this into my my marketing agency, and so I already have custom values. So I like to try to keep things as clean as possible. So I may go in there and change some of the custom values. Okay, so I'm not going to necessarily utilize these custom values. I may go in there and utilize some already custom values that I already have in my agencies. All right, so just understand. Let me show you where the custom values are. Okay. So in settings over here, there are right here custom values, right? Custom fields and custom values are different. So custom values, as you can see, I have a whole bunch of custom values. So I'm going to go in there and I'm going to probably clean it up. But for the sake of, getting this done within 30 minutes, that's my goal, is I'm just going to go in here and I'm just going to replace the value. So I already have the date set up and everything. And so I'm going to call it how to build a multi. I'm just going to utilize Andrew's six-figure title. I haven't thought about it, but I'm just going to, for me, it's all about taking action and moving forward. All right. So how to build a six-figure business with social media marketing on autopilot. All right, so that's kind of my tentative name that I'm gonna call it. And then I'm just gonna replace this with my name. And then here, I already set the date, October, let me just take the date. Let me get a calendar. Where's my calendar? Let's see here. I'm just gonna look over here in my other window and my calendar for next month is October 5th, right? So October 5th, 2023. And then the date that I set it. Now I'm gonna create custom values because in the long run, as you're doing this over and over again, you don't want to be going into this page updating the dates and time every single time, you want to have a centralized location. All right. So I already have a process because I do weekly YouTube live as well as monthly webinars already. So, but this is for the GoHighLevel Mastermind. So I have to talk to my staff and kind of get everybody on board with what I'm doing. So the time would be at tentatively, I'm going to set it for 1 p.m. EST. And then here, what you will learn, how to get leads on social media, get people from podcasts, social media, and speaking on stage, schedule. I'm just going to leave this for now. I'm just going to clean it up later. And then hosted by this, that's not me, of course. I'm going to change that over here. And then I have my face in there already. And then here, I'm going to just change it to my name. This might be already things that you already know. Founder and CEO of, I'm just going to put K Madison, and that's my marketing agency. Servicing and helping local business owners grow and scale their business on autopilot. Pilot, okay. Actually, I'm just gonna leave it as autopilot, okay? Autopilot. All right, and then this, I'm just gonna delete these because I'm not gonna utilize this at this time. I mean, if I need to, then I'll have my my designer come in here and delete those, or add, okay? And then here, I'm gonna leave the year. Everything I'm just gonna put today's date, and I'll go in there and change it later, right? For the sake of by K Madison, okay? And then here, I have social media, but I'm just gonna leave it there because right now, I just wanna get it done, get people to sign up. That's my main goal, right? And I'm gonna save that. Now, this is what's called global field. So you want to utilize this when you're creating multiple pages because you don't want to be going in and changing every single page, okay? Probably my assumption is this bottom section is probably the global footer, okay? Just gonna save it and then go back. And then what I'm gonna do just for purposes of, I'm going to change the form because this form is associated with, let me see here. Where's that form? I think it's this form right here. So then I'm going to go in here and change the form because I don't want to make the, you want to, if you're, what you want to do is you want to make sure you pick a country picker. I mean, because that will, it just works out better. I've had situations where I had somebody from overseas trying to register for something, and because they didn't have the country picker, they couldn't fill out the form properly. And then what I'm going to do here is be notified via text message. And then what I would do is I would change this text message to be a little more compliant because, as you may know, if you're in the United States, you have to make sure you're compliant with text message. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to what I wrote in my when I set up my text message campaign, and I have to make sure that I comply with everything. And so I'm probably going to go back and change that. But for now, just going to leave it because I'm trying to get this done. And then let me see, I'm just going to change the name because I like trying to be consistent with everything. And so I'm going to change this to webinar funnel form. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, no, I have to create some sort of a name, and then I try to keep everything consistent so that I know what that form, what it's connected to on a specific page. Because once you start creating multiple forms and multiple things, things get a little bit chaotic. All right, so I just want to go back to my funnel and make sure that oh, I forgot one more thing. All right, so this form, so I made sure that it changed, and I want to also make sure that in the builder, let's see here. Here it is. Oops. What I'm gonna do is I want to make sure that it's gonna send a message. All right, the wording, I don't like the wording. I'm probably gonna change it later, but for the sake of what we're doing, we're just gonna leave it. Okay. And I'm gonna go back to the funnel, and then I'm just gonna get rid of this thank you page. Well, I may leave it because it's not being utilized, but what I want to make sure is when I go in here and edit this page, I mean this form, I want to make sure that the redirect, meaning once they click on it, it's going to use the action from the form builder. I'm not going to take them to the next step. Okay. So I'm going to save that. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is I want to make sure that this looks okay. So here, I'm going to, of course, change the image. Where's the image? Where are you? Oh, here it is. Okay, and put my face there, then save it. And then I'm going to change the name. Paul Kim, founder and CEO at K Madison. So the way that you look at the website and the form is different. So you just want to make sure you always check that out. There's also an SEO setting, but we're not going to get into that. Servicing and helping local business owners scale. Okay, so then let me go back to this and make sure everything's okay. All right, so everything's good. So now once somebody submits the form, now we're done with the form, with the landing page. Now we're done with the form. Now what you want to do is, this is not being utilized. So what I would do, sometimes I have a tendency not to complete my sentences. I apologize for that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put in here, thank you page, right? And I'm just going to put in here, not used. So that way we know that that's not being used. And actually that should have changed the name. I don't know. That should not used. Okay. There we go. All right. So let me go back to settings and all right. So now that's being used. Now we go to the automation. And then this is, I think this is did it create a, why is this? All right, so this is odd. Why? Why is that? Why is, just refresh. Okay, so I have to figure out why this is. It says agency user. So ultimately, yeah, I'm gonna go back to my GoHighLevel account, and I'm gonna switch over because I already downloaded that Snapshot as a separate one here. So I'm not gonna be able to set it up now, but I'm just gonna go over it with everybody so that way everybody understands what it is. Here, this is the email. So when somebody submits the form, so you will put in here the form, and then you will select that specific form that we set up. And then now create opportunity is really, it's like a pipeline, right? And I'll show you an example of a pipeline here. So I have various pipelines here. So I have in here opt-in. So I do various webinars, and so basically this is a pipeline for one of the webinars that I do on a weekly basis. And so every time they opt in, then I invite them to a consultation, and then I move them across, so forth and so forth. So this is what, you want to add people to the opportunity, because if you remember from Andrew's the webinar, I mean the webinar that was done, they have the post I guess meeting, and so if they do come, then you want to move them across to that stage. And then you want to, of course, tag them. Now, tagging is a whole different ball game. If you do a lot of stuff on your GoHighLevel, you want to make sure you get organized with your tags. All right. And then the confirmation goes out as well, right? And then the confirmation text message, and then what you want to do is you want to make sure you set the date, because this date, I didn't realize that you can actually set a custom field. That's new. That's actually helpful for me. I didn't realize that. Every time I would do this, I would always specify a date here, so that if I were to set a date here, then I could just go into the custom fields and I would just put the date. I don't know how that's set up. I would probably need to run some tests, but for the sake of simplicity, here I would just put in a specific date and time, so that way that date is what everything runs off of. 4 days before the event, 3 days before the event, 2 days before. Well, he does like really 3, 4, 2. The way I look at it, it seems as excessive, but you know what? If he has it this way, then let's do it that way, right? If people really signed up for it, they want to be notified, then go ahead and notify them. So here he sends them an email, and then wait 5 p.m. and then sends a text message. So this really, when you think about it, why is the snapshot so valuable, right? The snapshot is valuable because Andrew has been doing this a lot, and so he gives you specific parameters of when to send text message. 3 hours before here, 1 hour before, 30 minutes, 10 minutes. Like, to me, it seems excessive, right? But if you want to get people there in this day and age, because everybody's so busy, I would definitely follow it. Now, if I get to a point where in my post meeting with the people, and they say, hey, yeah, I get too many text messages before the event, then I would change it accordingly, right? So this snapshot is not necessarily for, you have to understand, like, you have to adjust to what you're happy and comfortable with, okay? And so, and then I would probably, he doesn't have automations that does the post meeting. So yeah, I would probably set up customization and scheduling to set up for post. But you know what? A lot of this can be done manually. Like, for example, people that are here right today, right? I'm just gonna stop sharing so that way. The people that are here in my GoHighLevel Mastermind, I basically, what I did was I did everything manually, right? When people messaged me, I messaged them back and forth via via Facebook Messenger. I entered people into my database, my CRM, my Pro HighLevel account manually. And I emailed out people manually at the very beginning, right? But then what did I do this morning while I had some downtime? Well, actually, I didn't have downtime. I needed to take care of it. I set up automations and I set up a page. And let me show you the page that I set up, right? So I, in my Pro 360 account, if you look at my sites here, and you look at here, GHL Mastermind, here's my funnel. So moving forward, when I do these on a weekly basis, I'm going to ask people to register and sign up here. And so that will automatically go, and then the automated email goes out. But before I did this today, I did everything manually, right? So the same can be applied when you're setting up the weekly webinar, right? Now, some of you may be thinking, oh man, I don't have I don't have the agency account. I don't have the highest plan. Well, you need to sign up for the highest. I think if you sign up, they will give you, I don't remember. I think when I signed up, I got a 14-day trial or something like that, but I don't remember. But anyway, you do need to get it in order to get the snapshot, right? So I think that's the, I don't know if that's still available, but I think, I think you could probably go and upgrade and then get the agency account. Now, if you do upgrade, then, you may be wondering, there's so much involved in setting up the agency account. So if you go look at HighLevel, like there's a lot when it comes to the agency account here. So I'm showing you the agency dashboard, right? There's a lot here, right? I don't know probably like 80% of the stuff in here, but what I do know is that you get the sale and then figure things out as you go along, right? And so, yeah, it was kind of scary when I first did it, but you know what? I made a lot of mistakes, right? And that's my motto for everything, things that I do for my business, which is not necessarily good, but that's the entrepreneurship, that side of me. So anyway, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop this the stream. So this morning also I set up my YouTube channel so that I will be able to stream and be able to document my journey because this is my approach. One thing I would do right now before because my goal is to actually set it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, because I want to send out the link for people to register, I do want to set up the domain. So I'm going to go to my domain manager. Let me see if I can. I'm going to go to my domain manager and I'll show you. I use Google domains. They're being purchased by Squarespace, but I'm not going to move all of my domains over. So that's going to be a pain. So I'm going to set up my, let me go to my Google domain and I'll show you. Here's my domain manager for Google, right? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to manage my settings here and I'm going to create a subdomain. I have a lot, as you can see, right? I'm going to create a subdomain called webinar and I'm going to call it CNAME. And then I'm just going to copy this over here. Oops. And so that way it's set. Right. So that way I'm going to move it over here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my domain here and I'm going to add a domain called webinar.kmadison.com. And then, so what it does is so GoHighLevel made this really simple these days and they're getting better and better. So I'm going to authorize it, but it's not going to, it's going to look at the domain, but I don't have the domain under this email address, so it's okay. So I'm just it's gonna keep on looking at it and trying to authorize it. So hopefully it won't take too long while we wait, okay? The reason is that when I promote on social media or when I tell people to register, it's an easy place to remember, so that way you could tell them webinar.kmadison.com. All right, so there we go. So I'm going to select the funnel, which is the GHL webinar funnel. And then the step is registration page. There's additional options, but I'm just going to leave it. Okay, then linking it. So it's linked. So now that's linked, the domain set, and I'm going to go to automations here. This is not working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let me see here. This is, I'm going to create a folder here for GHL webinar funnel. And then I'm just going to create a empty workflow here. Webinar. It's probably going to be more work later when I do this. Webinar funnel workflow. And the reason why I'm doing this, you could once you get the snapshot and you import it, it should show up, but if for some reason it's not showing up here. So I'm just going to put in here the form, right? So form submitted, and then I'm going to find the form, and it is called the webinar funnel form. And so once that's submitted, then my action here is I want to put in a wait. So wait 30 days, okay? And the reason I'm doing this is because I don't have the snapshot for the workflow, but I want to get something. I want to get something done here. So I'm going to send an email, and I'm going to put Paul Kim support@kmadison.com, and then the subject here is congrats for signing up. Okay, and then I'm just going to create just quickly I'm currently setting up the webinar enrollment. Okay, as soon as I get it set up, I'll shoot over the Zoom access link. Okay, looking forward to seeing you there, Paul. And simple as that, right? So now at least they get something, right? Now I don't have to, even if I didn't have the snapshot, I have it here. I have the set for 30 days. They're not going anywhere. So, so now you can actually, whoever's on the webinar, you can go and register as well. And if you want to join me, you can do that. It's not working. So hopefully at a certain point, it's so sometimes when you set a domain, it takes maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes for it to propagate. So it's still not going to go, but eventually it will go. But what I can do is I can send you the link directly so that you can register directly. All right, so let me go to the sites, and oops, nope. Where this is what happens when you have so many funnels or so many pages and things like that. So that's why I strongly recommend that. Now, why is this not working? Published. Let me see. Let me refresh. So one of the bad things sometimes with GoHighLevel, because it's such a huge, I mean, there's so many people on this platform. it sometimes does take a little bit of for it to kind of like, I don't know, what would you call it, simmer, propagate. That's what I call it. Yeah, so it's not, oh, so it's trying to redirect to webinar.kmadison. So and there is no direct link, so we're just gonna have to wait. So, but in the meantime, for those that are watching, I am streaming to YouTube. You want to register, you could go to webinar.kmadison.com and you can register for that. And you can check out my, I'm going to get the slide deck that Andy is supposed to send over, supposedly. If not, then I'm going to create my own slide deck for my webinar. And I'm going to use a lot of the strategies and tips that he mentioned during the webinar. All right. So on that note, what I'm going to do is, this is a mastermind. So I wanted to turn off, I'm going to turn off I'm going to keep on recording, but I am going to turn off